Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical. So today for you guys I thought I'd bring you a Kingdom Hearts 3 discussion video. Last night I was thinking about a massive privilege that I would just love to embrace one day, love to actually experience. And one of the greatest privileges of all time for me personally would to actually interview and meet Tetsuya Nomura and ask him a few questions about Kingdom Hearts, but more specifically Kingdom Hearts 3. Ultimately, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a game that we've been waiting so damn long for. And I suppose you could say it is the messiah of Kingdom Hearts when it comes to it. Everyone bows down to that game, and everyone's looking so forward to that game. Of course, I'm speaking in terms of fans of the series and whatnot. Who knows, me actually meeting Tetsuya Nomura and asking him a few questions about Kingdom Hearts in the future might actually be a reality. I'm not actually too sure. Kinda sucks because I live so far away from the different events that I could possibly go to maybe one day get a chance of actually meeting him and asking him questions about the franchise. But fingers crossed, maybe one day it might happen. Anyway guys, for you today, I thought I would lay down 5 questions I would ask Tetsuya Nomura about Kingdom Hearts 3. These are some things that I'm just genuinely interested to kind of know. And of course I know that if I asked him these questions I probably wouldn't get an exact answer, but just to get kind of a comment towards the question itself would be absolutely fantastic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to leave kind of the questions that you would ask Tetsuya Nomura in the comment section below. Let's get on with it. So the first question I'd ask is, why is Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox One, and exactly what made you make this decision? Honestly speaking, this is one of the most wanted questions that I kind of want answered. I'd really like to know why exactly Square Enix made the decision to put Kingdom Hearts onto Xbox, especially because of the fact that I would say, like, Kingdom Hearts is kind of seen upon as a PlayStation IP. I know that a lot of the spin-off games made it to the Nintendo handheld consoles, but generally speaking, when you think of Kingdom Hearts, you instantly think of PlayStation. Now within asking this question, I'm not trying to show any kind of negativity towards Kingdom Hearts being on Xbox. In fact, I think it's actually kind of a great sort of change because of the fact that it's going to allow a lot more players to get involved with Kingdom Hearts. Of course, you know, if you include a game that's going to be on both systems, then of course you're catering to a larger audience in comparison to if you just put the game on one particular console. So I can exactly agree towards Square Enix's decision of putting Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox One. I would say that of course they're probably going to be getting a lot more sales to do with the game itself when it comes out, as it's going to be on 2 consoles, but perhaps maybe there might be a deeper reason towards putting the game onto Xbox One, and I'd love to know exactly why they made that decision. The next question I'd ask is, will there be more interactive levels in Kingdom Hearts 3? So this is something that I'm really hoping, an aspect of Kingdom Hearts 1 that I hope that comes over to Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'd really like to know kind of Tetsuya Nomura's opinion towards the interactiveness of the levels. If you guys look at like Kingdom Hearts 2, the worlds, they kind of became more so like themed hallways rather than their own kind of individual unique sort of worlds. If you look at the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1, although they're not really the greatest, you'll notice that in all of the worlds they have their own sort of unique different parts to them. So for instance, Deep Jungle is a pretty good example. It's got vines that you can climb, you can swing on the vines to get from platform to platform. Of course that level tried to incorporate a lot more platforming aspects, but in its own regard it had a lot more kind of unique aspects to each of the levels in Kingdom Hearts 1, like Neverland as well. Although I don't exactly like the whole layout of the level, the cool thing about Neverland is the fact that you could actually fly in Neverland, and that was a really cool aspect. So it seems to be that in the worlds for Kingdom Hearts 1 they are a lot more interactive, they stood out as their own. They weren't just kind of themed hallways like they sort of are in Kingdom Hearts 2. So I would like to kind of see like why exactly Square Enix decided to kind of change it up. You know, in the future Kingdom Hearts games. See whether Square Enix actually have plans to make the world stand out in their own individual, unique kind of ways. And of course, in the end, make the levels sort of more interactive. Next up, I would love to ask if Gummi Ships are going to be expanded upon. So Gummi Ships in Kingdom Hearts 1 were sort of like a chore. I can sort of say that a lot of people didn't really like the Gummi Ship missions and the way that they were laid out in Kingdom Hearts 1. They were kind of slow, they weren't really all that fun to play. They were just kind of something that you really had to do to unlock the next world. But see, in Kingdom Hearts 2, they were definitely expanded upon. The speed and the gameplay of the Gummi Ships were just, like, it was just so much better. It was such a big upgrade from the predecessor Gummi Ship minigame, and it was a lot more fun. There was a lot more kind of depth towards Gummi Ship customization, the different abilities, the different kind of miscellaneous parts that you could put on your Gummi Ship, and of course, like, it actually felt like you were, you know, flying through space with the speed that the gameplay of the Gummi Ships was set at, and all the different unique levels. It was a lot better in Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, I've seen around the internet that people kind of want more of an open world space type way of getting to each of the worlds, and I can see this aspect being really, really cool. I've mentioned this in the past, but kind of a cool way that they might be able to do this is the sort of space gameplay that Ratchet & Clank: A Crack in Time had was excellent. You're kind of in this large space area, and then in like the kind of corners of this area, you would see the different planets, and you'd have to fly there, and on your way to the different planets, you'd have to shoot down like meteors and enemies that would try to like approach you and stuff. I would kind of like something like that for Kingdom Hearts 3. That'd be really, really cool. Of course, it'll probably have to be like done a different kind of way, but still to the point, it'd be really cool to see if Square Enix actually has plans to expand upon the Gummi Ship minigame even further, or perhaps maybe they're just going to incorporate the same concept from Kingdom Hearts 2 and just change it up a little bit. But of course, when a new sequel comes out, usually what happens is a lot of things get expanded upon, and Gummi Ships are one thing that I'm really looking forward to. You know, is it possible that Square Enix could make the Gummi Ship missions a little bit more funner to play, even more so than they are in Kingdom Hearts 2? That's something that I'm really looking forward to. The next question I'd ask is, how is Kingdom Hearts 3 going to introduce newcomers? Now, Square Enix have already stated that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be a game where you can actually jump into for newcomers, and it's going to be easy for newcomers to understand everything that's going on in the story thus far, and to even get the feel for the game in terms of gameplay. But it's going to be interesting to see how Square Enix exactly does that. I would love to ask Tetsuya Nomura or someone at Square Enix, like, how is this exactly going to work? Now, first of all, in terms of the lore and story, this is really interesting because Kingdom Hearts, when it comes down to it, the story is not something that is easy to understand. In fact, Kingdom Hearts has such an in-depth and confusing lore that even to this day, hardcore fans still struggle to understand what's going on. So it is going to be interesting how Square Enix can actually thoroughly explain, you know, what exactly is going on in Kingdom Hearts, everything that's happened from perhaps Key up to Kingdom Hearts 3 in one segment at the start of the game. Is there going to be some sort of movie that's going to briefly explain the story thus far? Will there be some sort of interactive menu that you can flick through? Who really knows? And of course, in terms of the gameplay, I hope that Square Enix really does try to implement some sort of easy to understand tutorial. Not really a tutorial that's going to drag on for a very long time like Kingdom Hearts 2, but more so a tutorial that gets straight to the point. Once again, it is going to be interesting how exactly Square Enix is going to make it easy for newcomers to jump into the game and to know what is actually going on. And lastly, I would love to ask Tetsuya Nomura if there is going to be a greater amount of in-game content in Kingdom Hearts 3 in comparison to that of the in-game content for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix has the most in-game content out of any of the Kingdom Hearts games that have released to this date. In Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, it does have a decent amount of end-game content. Now, when it comes down to it, in-game content is a very, very important aspect of any game, not just speaking towards Kingdom Hearts, but it gives the player something to do once they finish the story and to continue to come back to the game and to play it for more hours on end. Some might argue that in-game content is actually equally as important as the main story or campaign of some games, and to which I can kind of agree. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is a game that I want to be able to come back to time and time again, not just for the sake of replaying the story, but for the end-game content. When we look at Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, it had a decent amount. Of course, we had the mushroom minigame, we had the Cabin of Remembrance, we had, of course, we got the Organization 13 fight, we had the Lingering Will, we had all of the standard Kingdom Hearts 2 in-game content thrown on top of that. There was a decent amount there. But I am hoping that Square Enix decides to incorporate that much in-game content that Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix had if not greater. And I am actually expecting greater, as we're working with much, much better hardware these days. Of course, if I actually ended up asking Tetsuya Nomura, it's not like he's going to go into full detail towards what they are planning on adding towards the in-game content, but just to get a yes or no answer would be very awesome. Otherwise, guys, there is 5 questions I would love to ask Tetsuya Nomura about Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm sure that 2016 is going to be a year where there's going to be a lot of interviews with Tetsuya Nomura in terms of Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 3. Last year at E3 2015, there was so many interviews conducted with Tetsuya Nomura. When it came down to it, we actually got more information out of the interviews in comparison to the trailers that were shown throughout the year. And that's the thing that I love about interviews. It actually gives, people who are genuinely interested in the game a chance to actually ask the director different questions that they want to know and the community wants to know about the upcoming titles. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. So I'm certain that 2016 is going to be a year where more interviews are going to be held. The Famitsu ones are definitely the most interesting, and through those interviews, hopefully we're going to be getting some more information. And of course, in the end, I hope that maybe some of these questions perhaps get asked in the interviews. We'll just have to wait and see. Otherwise, guys, I'm imcynical. Hope you guys are having a great day, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.